Okay, my name is Mark Ball. I'm just started my recording. Uh, I'm also go as Vet Sports, VETSPTS on eBay. This break is going to consist of the 2014 Topps Finest football case. This is my second break. There's a couple of return visitors from last week, and like I put out to them, I'm going to try and do a break at least once a week. A variety of sports. Right now, I'm focusing on football. I'm going to try and get some baseball in there as well, and maybe mix in some basketball. In that time frame, I've got some requests in. I'm trying to shuffle around because obviously I got to purchase the product prior to the break, so I'm trying to shuffle around some funds. But if there's any particular request on a type of product, I'll look into it and crunch some numbers and see if it's feasible for me to sit there and break it. I'd much rather break what everybody wants rather than guess. Um, the other aspect too, as this is my third actual break, I'm going to try to continue to improve on my process, be quicker, be a little bit more efficient. The breakdown for everything for the shipping last week actually did pretty good. Learned some things from that. But the aspect last week, I was learning some things with the broadcasting. I found out that initially, the once the break had ended, even though I had recorded it, nobody could see it. And come to find out, there was a privacy setting. So one of the techs helped me with that. So basically, the game plan for tonight is we're going to break the case. We're going to go through nice chats back and forth or whatnot. Um, at the end of that, if there's any dual teams out of this, and as a highlight for last week, we pulled a Johnny Manziel and Bortles signed dual autograph jersey card. It was serial numbered 7 out of 10. I will randomize that unless that particular person happens to have both teams on that card. Um, but what I will do is I'll break down my videos in reference to that. In other words, there'll be one break video that'll be posted on Ustream. I'll send that link out tomorrow. There will be a recap a recap video that will be recorded and also posted tomorrow. But I will post that one directly onto YouTube. And if there is a randomization, that will also be added to. Now, I will tell you from last week's break, there's going to be a ton of hits, but they're going to be as low as your base refractors all the way up to your dual auto relics to the actual auto relics with the rookies and such. So when I do my hit recap, I will probably break up all the refractors into one recap and then do all my relic cards and autos in another recap. But any link that's associated with this break will be sent out as far as links and posted to YouTube, with the exception of the actual break on Ustream. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do as I'm getting started here, I'm going to go ahead and read this off and let you guys know. First thing, I had two teams, the Chargers and the Jets, that did not sell. If anybody's interested in those, I will sell them in this room $6.99. There will be no added shipping. So if you've already got any teams, if anybody's interested, those teams will be added to your package, and the only thing you're going to do is just pay the base price. Now, let me go ahead and put in on my link just in case. Okay. Every time I post some type of link or chat on here, it tells me to wait 10 seconds. So anyway, so the Chargers and the Jets are available, and then if anybody's interested, um, let me know in this room, and then send payment to that email address right there through PayPal. And like I said, it'll be free shipping. It'll just be added to your package. I'll eat the shipping charges for that. Okay, so he's got it, and you know. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm still getting messages about the links. Okay. Here's what we got tonight, guys. We got Spurs Fanatics, got Chiefs, Raiders, C.A. Heiser, Rams, Broncos, Insight, Dolphins, Cardinals, S.W. Rick, Texans, Buccaneers, Browns, Giants, Titans, Colts, and Saints. Jason K.C., Eagles and Cowboys. Rocketman, Redskins. TMP, Bills. DMI Cali, Patriots. Johnny, 49ers. Aaron Spybrook, Seahawks. Gilly Gill, got the Bears. Ange, A-N-G, I'm not sure if that's short for Angie or if that's initials, but they got the Packers. Vetterman, Vikings. J.D. Crostick, Ravens. Yeah, I already see you in your room. Gotcha. Meek Cheeky, Bengals. Jarbaka, Steelers. Lady Gun, got the Jaguars and Panthers. And the last one was Calcinos, and they got the Falcons. Okay.
Lapsista en rakkain tää näyttämö on, mis kuutamo kujillaan kulki. Taipunut havu kesähuivassa sen valkomeren minaan, joka aamupuusi saapunut kotiin. Kauniisen maan hetki kuin ikuisuus, yhden kissan jälluuksiin. Tarinain lähteellä asumassaan, mis valtavan kaihon hiki säveltää maailmaa. Laulullaan herättää maa.
Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and open up all the master boxes and then stack all the mini boxes. If you're not familiar with the product, each box has 2 mini boxes inside.
Journey into imagine all the world we've been this moving on this path in a country I can't stop letting it fall back into the stars. I am always a little bit the innocence that keeps on letting back. I am the object of Peter Pan. I suddenly got it just to the blue sky. Imagine me every morning sky. I am the story that you read to me. Every memory that you hold dear. I am a journey, I am a destination, I am a romantic that breathes. A way to taste the night, being the supply for all the madness. I was your imaginary, I dream about the caress the dreams and they will be. A slight telescope, the fantastic game, the God is a limitless just for me. I am the never
Give me just a quick second. I just got another message about the video. Okay. Trying to get some background music, but I'm tinkering with the volume. I don't know how loud it is for you guys. Okay, starting with box one. Before I bust this one, is any other takers for the Chargers or the Jets? $6.99, free postage. You know, I'll pull that super fractor out, something like that, you guys are gonna be wishing you grabbed it. Okay, if that music's too loud, somebody let me know. Okay, for the ones who was in here last week, just to explain this, I will flip through relatively quick. I'll announce who the player is, but I'm not going to show each one to the screen, but I will show the hit. So if it's a refractor or higher, I will show that. Okay, but that way this break doesn't take a couple hours. Okay, so Eric Ebron for the Detroit Lions. Oops. Oh, they flipped around. Hold on a second. Okay, Eric Ebron for the Lions. Victor Cruz for the Giants. Le'Veon Bell for the Steelers. Richard Sherman, Seahawks. And then the first hit, Jordan Matthews for the Eagles. Okay. Vincent Jackson for the Buccaneers. Yeah, I can do that. Do you need that email address again? And yours was the Ravens, so that'll be 3 teams for you, right? Ravens, Jets, and Chargers. Okay. Sorry about that. I just saw, like I said before, for some of you who's in here earlier, there is a delay. So when you send a message, it takes about 10 seconds to post, and it does the same thing on my end. Anyway, Vincent Jackson for the Buccaneers. Pierre Garçon for the Redskins. Drew Brees for the Saints. Okay, first die cut insert. Okay. Finest Atomic Rookie. Derek Carr for the Raiders. And then Connor Shaw for the Browns. Okay. They got them flipped for some reason. Aaron Rodgers for the Packers. Monty Ball for the Broncos. Second refractor. Ace Sanders for the Jaguars. Greg Robinson for the Rams. And Jeremy Hill for the Bengals. Okay, AJ Green for the Bengals. Luke Quickly for the Panthers. Okay, for the Steelers, this is Fantasy's Finest. Okay, Le'Veon Bell. Johnny Manziel rookie card. It is not a refractor. Okay, but it is his base rookie card. And then Austin Jenkins for the Buccaneers. Okay. This right here is the thick pack. I'll open that in just a second. Let me finish this other pack first. Nick Foles for the Eagles. Antonio Brown for the Steelers. Tavon Austin for the Rams. First X-Fractor of the box. Alfred Morris for the Redskins. And then Bishop Sankey for the Titans. And in case some of you are not familiar with this product, the X-Fractors are not serial numbered. They do have serial numbered refractors. We should see, I think last time we got about 10 of them in the entire case. Okay. Julio Jones for the Falcons. Adrian Peterson for the Vikings. Jake Matthews for the Falcons. And I'm getting tongue-tied here. Devion Clowney for the Texans. Okay, Coach. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that screen name right. Yes, I will take 10 for both. Do you need me to send my email address again? Okay. Now, this right here is our first auto relic. Okay. And it's Zach Mettenberger. Okay, that's that Pulsar refractor. Okay. Trying to tilt it. There you go. 21 out of 25. Okay, so that's a good one for the Titans. Okay, 2-color patch. Okay, Alfred Morris, Redskins. Eddie Lacy for the Packers. Peyton Manning for the Broncos. And then our next base refractor for the Buccaneers, Mike Glennon. And then also for the Buccaneers, Robert Huron. Okay, so we got our next tie cut. Josh Gordon for the Browns. Cam Newton for the Panthers. Joe Flacco for the Ravens. Finest Atomic rookie. And that is Taj Boyd for the Jets. And then Mike Evans for the Buccaneers. Okay, Kong Su for the Lions. Rob Gronkowski for the Patriots. Our next refractor is Zach Martin for the Cowboys. Taylor Lewan for the Titans and Stephen Morris for the Jaguars. Zach Ertz for the Eagles. Michael Crabtree for the 49ers. E.J. Manuel for the Bills. And then and Fantasy's finest for the Dolphins. Okay. Brian Hartline. And then Jay Samaro for the Jets. Deshaun Jackson, Redskins. Navarro Bowman for the 49ers. Troy Polamalu for the Steelers. The way that green highlights out of there, it looks pretty good, but it's X-Fractor for the Seattle Seahawks. Paul Richardson. That color just jumps out. Which two did you get? You got the you got the Jets and Chargers, and I believe you got the Ravens out of the eBay auction. And then DeAnthony Thomas for the Chiefs. Thanks, Peaky. Okay. Matt Forte, Bears. Julian Edelman, Patriots. We got a first numbered refractor, guys, for the Bengals. And low number, too. AJ Green, gold refractor. There you go. 2 out of 75. Rookie Teddy Bridgewater for the Vikings. And 2-color patch for the Titans. Okay, and that's Bishop Sankey for the Titans. 2-color auto patch. So Titans are starting off strong. Okay. Did SRW Rick pop into this room? Frank Gore for 49ers. Kendall Wright for the Titans. Torrey Smith for the Ravens. And base refractor for the Chiefs. DeAnthony Thomas. And then Troy Nicholas for the Cardinals. Brandon Marshall for the Bears. Wes Welker for the Broncos. Clay Matthews for the Packers. Our next die cut for the Bills. Sammy Watkins. Michael Sam for the Rams. Aaron Donald for the Steelers. Mike Wallace, Dolphins. Sheldon Richardson for the Jets. Okay, we got another finest or Fantasy's Finest, but this one's the refractor version. Okay, so refractor version, Fantasy's Finest, and that's Giovanni Bernard for the Bengals. And then this was a double hit pack. Jay Cutler, base refractor for the Bears. Phillip Rivers for the Chargers. Russell Wilson for the Seahawks. Brian Hartline for the Dolphins. Another Fantasy Finest, and that's Shane Vereen for the Patriots. And then Martavius Bryant for the Steelers. Printing plate, guys. Printing plate. Okay, let me do it like this. Kadeem Carey for the Bears. Reggie Bush for the Lions. Jordan Cameron for the Browns. And then Kiko Alonso for the Bills. Get to where that camera is at. And then the printing plate. That paid off for you, bub. Ryan Matthews, San Diego Chargers, 1 of 1 yellow printing plate. I think I want to buy my team back. How about that? Okay, Reggie Wayne for the Colts. DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans. Our next X-Fractor, Antonio Brown for the Steelers. Logan Thomas for the Cardinals. And then our next auto relic for the Browns, Terrence West. I keep pausing because every time I get a message, I want to make sure it's not one of you guys having a question about the break with any issues with Ustream. So I just want to make sure everybody's got an ample opportunity to see everything. Demarius Moore for the Raiders. Patrick Willis for the 49ers. Robert Griffin III, Redskins. Next base refractor for the Packers, Jordy Nelson. And I know I'm going to butcher it for the Texans, C.J. Fedorowicz. I hope that's how I pronounce it. Robert Quinn for the Rams. Randall Cobb for the Packers. Calvin Johnson for the Lions. And then our next die cut. Finest Atomic Rookie, and that's Michael Sam for the Rams. And then A.J. McCarron for the Bengals. Dez Bryant for the Cowboys. C.J. Spiller for the Bills. Matt Ryan for the Falcons. Carlos Hyde for 49ers. And Jordan Lynch for the Bears. Andrew Luck, Colts. Marshawn Lynch, Seahawks. Okay, our next Fantasy's Finest for the Eagles. And that's Deshaun Jackson. Derek Carr for the Raiders. And Brandon Cooks for the Saints. This looks like a double hit pack, guys. Okay. Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers. Finest quarterback cuts. Okay. When we broke the case last week, there was only one in the case, and that was Teddy Bridgewater. This time, it's A.J. McCarron for the Bengals. These are not serial numbered, but again, I only got one in the case last time. Wow, this is a triple hit pack. For the Ravens, Ray Rice, base refractor. Sammy Watkins, rookie card. And then Jumbo Relic. This is Zach Ertz for the Eagles. Okay, Eli Manning for the Giants. His nemesis, Tom Brady for the Patriots. Jamal Charles for the Chiefs. Next refractor for the Eagles. Quarterback Nick Foles. And then Jimmy Garoppolo for the Patriots. That completes our second box, gentlemen. You guys are fairly quiet tonight. Matt Ryan for the Falcons. Andrew Luck, Colts. Marshawn Lynch for the Seahawks. Our next base refractor for the Bears. David Fales. And then Brandon Cooks for the Saints. Derek Carr for the Raiders. He'll be on the back because I keep forgetting they flipped that one card. Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers. Eli Manning for the Giants. Another Tom Brady. Looks like they keep those guys packed up. Tom Brady for the Patriots. And then for the 49ers, Carlos Hyde. That's the atomic rookie die cut. Okay, Jamal Charles for the Chiefs. Frank Gore for the 49ers. Nice. Okay. Three out of 10. Clay Matthews for the Packers. Jimmy Garoppolo for the Patriots, and Sammy Watkins for the Bills. Kendall Wright for the Titans. Torrey Smith, Ravens. Brandon Marshall for the Bears. Fantasy's finest, Jordan Reed. That's for the Redskins. And Troy Nicholas for the Cardinals. Okay. Wes Welker, Broncos. Clay Matthews for the Packers. Geno Smith, base refractor for the Jets. Michael Sam for the Rams. Okay. Two-color auto relic for the Buccaneers. And it's Austin Jenkins. Well, there's no problem with the Hyde. I think last week, if memory serves me correct, I think we pulled one of his auto relics too. So hopefully we'll see another one of his repeats tonight for you. I actually like how those die cuts look out of this set. Sit that right there. Okay, Aaron Donald for the Steelers. Mike Wallace, Dolphins. Sheldon Richardson for the Jets. Phillip Rivers for the Chargers. And then the X-Fractor for the Broncos. Peyton Manning. Okay, for the Colts, Ty Hilton. Jimmy Graham for the Saints. Our next Fantasy's Finest, that's a refractor version. Deshaun Jackson for the Eagles. And then base refractor for the Seahawks, Earl Thomas. Marquise Lee for the Jaguars. Patrick Peterson for the Cardinals. Giovanni Bernard for the Bengals. Demaryius Thomas for the Broncos. And then our next die cut rookie. Oops, almost dropped it. Okay, that's Jake Amaro for the Jets. And then Jordan Matthews for the Eagles. J.J. Watt for the Texans. Eric Berry for the Chiefs. Denarius Moore for the Raiders. Next base refractor for the Chargers, Keenan Allen. And then Zach Martin for the Cowboys. Hey, so can I get some feedback from this room in reference to what I should bust next? I could get another case of Finest. I'm looking at Platinum, but I'm trying to negotiate a price on that. And I'm looking at see, I got to get a little bit more leeway, but I'm looking at possibly doing a triple threads, but I got to get probably about another couple $100 in funds for that. But if you guys just chime in the room, tell me what type of product you're looking for, and I'll see what I can do for next week. San Francisco, Patrick Willis. Another RG3 for the Redskins. Fantasy's Finest for the Saints. Okay, and that's Drew Brees. And then, okay, for a second there I thought that was Refractor. CJ Federowicz for the Texans, and then David Falls for the Bears. Okay, Robert Quinn for the Rams. Randall Cobb for the Packers. Jordan Lynch for the Bears. AJ McCarron base card for the Bengals. And let me flip it this way. And then our next rookie relic. There you go. Trying to get that light glare off of it. Jeremy Hill for the for the Bengals. Getting my B teams kind of mixed up. Okay, Jason, what I'll do is I'll take a look, see how my sales are in the next couple of days. And if I can swing it, I'll try it this week. If not, it might have to be another couple of weeks. The 9-box master case, I think I can get for a little over $1,000. And I got to take all that in consideration. And then the master case with 18 boxes is, I think it was right around $21, $22. And again, for those who wasn't here at the very beginning, this is new for me on the brake side, so this is something I want to build, and I really appreciate everybody's input. Yeah, the Bengals are doing pretty well. I think they did pretty good last time too. Yeah, what I'm opening now is affordable, and it gives me a lot of flexibility. A lot of inserts in this though, but that's because there's just about a base refractor or something in just about every pack. Calvin Johnson for the Lions, Dez Bryant for the Cowboys, Spiller for the Bills, Eddie Lacy X-Fractor for the Packers, and then Carlos Hyde base card for the 49ers. And another thing I'm going to try and do, I'm going to send you guys a link through eBay messages. I started a page today on Facebook. It's small right now, obviously, But basically, it's going to be called Ball Breakers. And what I'm going to start doing is looking at trying to get to cases and try and go ahead and maneuver between my eBay listings and my possibly offer up teams, possibly offer up drafts and stuff like that. But I want to build that up and kind of give everybody the same shot. So feel free if I send that link out to join the page, and if not, no hard feelings. I just want to try and have different avenues to basically give everybody the same opportunity as I build this breaking aspect up. Just on a slight humor for those that if they ask why I call it Ball Breakers, most sports involve a ball, but my actual last name is Ball, so I just figured it'd kind of fit in with what I'm doing. But the other side aspect too is if I can do more breaks off of eBay, I can actually eliminate some of those fees, and that can actually free me up some more funds where I can actually get the bigger and better cases, like the Topps Triple Threads or even like the National Treasures. So, and I want to be able to do that for the top three sports: basketball, football, and baseball. Okay, well, I'll pull up the contenders later tonight and send a message out to the distributor I deal with and see what we can do. And maybe I'll put the next finest on pause and try and do contenders next weekend. But I definitely appreciate the feedback, guys, because I'd much rather do what you guys want, not what you guys just seem to find. Okay, for the Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald, Andy Dalton for the Bengals, DeMarco Murray for the Cowboys. Also for the Cowboys, base refractor, Tony Romo. Wow, 60 hits? I didn't realize they had that many. And then Charles Sims for the Buccaneers. Okay, so contenders, an absolute. Okay, give me a quick second, John. I'm not sure how much of my chat that I'll have available afterwards, so I need to write this down. Okay. Forgot I'd already started opening the pack, gentlemen. Okay, so we got another die-cut rookie in this one. Matthew Stafford for the Lions. Arian Foster for the Texans. Ryan Tannehill for the Dolphins. And then our next, for the Buccaneers, Austin Jenkins die-cut. And then for the Texans, Zach Mettenberger. Geno Smith for the Jets. Keenan Allen for the Chargers. Earl Thomas for the Seahawks. Next base refractor for the Jaguars, Marquise Lee. Khalil Mack for the Raiders. Mike Glennon for the Buccaneers. Ace Sanders for the Jaguars. Fantasy's finest for the Chargers, Ryan Matthews. Odell Beckham for the Giants and Jarvis Landry for the Dolphins. Okay. This is going to have another auto relic, guys. Robert Mathis. I'm trying to add some letters to the name. For the Colts. Julius Thomas for the Broncos. Taj Boyd for the Jets. And Anthony Barr for the Vikings. Okay. Make sure I'm holding it the right way. Okay. For the Chiefs, Aaron Murphy. I'm doing it again. Aaron Murray. I wonder if you guys can tell if it's been a long day or not. Okay, Tony Romo, Cowboys. Let me slide the chair a little bit. Jay Cutler for the Bears. Ray Rice for the Ravens. X-Fractor for the Packers. Devontae Adams. And DeQuezy Denard for the Bengals. Trey Mason for the Rams. Jordy Nelson for the Packers. Alex Smith for the Chiefs. Pierre Thomas for the Saints. And then base refractor, Julius Thomas for the Broncos. Next die cut rookie, guys. LaShawn McCoy for the Eagles. Ryan Matthews for the Chargers. Percy Harvin for the Seahawks. And then for the Dolphins, Jarvis Landry. And then Kelvin Benjamin for the Panthers. Darrelle Revis for the Patriots. Cecil Shorts for the Jaguars. Andre Johnson for the Texans. Base refractor for the Colts, Robert Mathis. Aaron Murray for the Kansas City Chiefs. Von Miller for the Broncos. Alshon Jeffrey for the Bears. Sean Lee for the Cowboys. Next Fantasy's Finest. Okay, and that's Larry Fitzgerald for the Cardinals. And then Jared Abbrederis for the Green Bay Packers. This should be our next auto relic, guys. It's a thick pack. Okay, for the Ravens, Terrell Suggs. Nice. Okay, this is a double hit pack, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Serial numbered out of 25. Okay. Trying to get it focused there, guys. 6 out of 25. Connor Shaw for the Cleveland Browns. So we got 2 low numbered refractors so far, plus a printing plate. So this seems to be a pretty good case. Devontae Adams for the Green Bay Packers. Paul Richardson for the Seattle Seahawks. And then our rookie relic, auto relic, Trey Mason for the Rams. Roddy White for the Falcons. Cordell Patterson for the Vikings. Our next X-Fractor for the Rams. Tavon Austin. Blake Bortles for the Jaguars, and Allen Robinson also for the Jaguars. Give me a moment, guys, to go ahead and move these base cards. Okay, we're halfway through, gentlemen. And if there's any ladies in the room, I apologize. Box 5, guys. Okay, for the Bengals, Giovanni Bernard. Patrick Peterson for the Cardinals. J.J. Watt for the Texans. Base refractor for the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams. Brandon Cooks for the Saints. Okay, Eric Berry for the Chiefs. Denarius Moore for the Raiders. For the 49ers, Patrick Willis. Our next die cut rookie for the Bears, David Falls. And Derek Carr for the Raiders. Okay, RG3 for the Redskins. Robert Quinn for the Rams. Okay, guys, numbered refractor. .44 out of 50. Kung Su for the Lions. I think last week we pulled a 50 out of 50 for him. I'd have to go back and look. Jimmy Garoppolo for the Patriots and Sammy Watkins for the Bills. Okay, Randall Cobb for the Packers. Calvin Johnson for the Lions. C.J. Spiller for the Bills. And then Fantasy Finest, New York Giants, Victor Cruz. And then Troy Nicholas for the Cardinals. Matt Ryan for the Falcons. Andrew Luck for the Colts. Base refractor for the Redskins. Alfred Morris. Michael Sam for the Rams. And then our next rookie relic for the Buccaneers, Charles Sims. And then the last one's I think I called it already, Michael Sam for the Rams. Hey Jason, I was having problems last week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out the links. The actual break will be on Ustream. It'll be up under my name. The recaps and any randoms that I do will be posted on YouTube, but I'll send every link that I have for this. When I got through and I was finishing with tech last week, I had to change the privacy settings and a few other things, but I was not able to export this over to YouTube. If anybody's got experience other than that, I'm trying to be nice here. The guy that was trying to help me through their tech support, if they can give me some advice, I would gladly put it on YouTube. But otherwise, we're looking at two separate sites, Ustream and YouTube. Marshawn Lynch for the Seattle Seahawks. Colin Kaepernick, the 49ers. Eli Manning for the Giants. Our next X-Fractor for the Seahawks. Paul Richardson. And then Aaron Donald for the Steelers. Tom Brady, Patriots. Jamal Charles for the Chiefs. Frank Gore for the 49ers. Base Refractor for the Rams. Tavon Austin. Martavius Bryant for the Steelers. Another die-cut rookie. Kendall Wright, Titans. Torrey Smith for the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Marshall for the Bears. Excuse me, did I read that right? I'm trying to go quick. Yeah, Brandon Marshall for the Bears. Die-cut rookie. It's Michael Sam for the Rams. Logan Thomas for the Cardinals. Okay, Wes Welker for the Broncos. Clay Matthews, Green Bay Packers. Mike Wallace for the Dolphins. Charles Sims for the Buccaneers. And the Kadeem Carey for the Bears. It's actually one of the few packs that didn't have a refractor in it. Okay, Sheldon Richardson for the Jets. Phillip Rivers for the Chargers. Fantasy's Finest, Greg Olsen for the Panthers. Khalil Mack for the Raiders and Zach Mettenberger for the Titans. This is one of those jumbo relic rookies. Okay, Russell Wilson for the Seahawks. Reggie Wayne for the Colts. Base refractor for the Jaguars. Yeah, Allen Robinson. Jarvis Landry for the Dolphins. And then for the Saints, it is a two-colored patch, but you can barely see the second color. See it right there at the far. It'd be on the far left. Okay, and that's Brandon Cooks for the Saints.
beaten dog, punching alley, tries to bite, how God turns wild through the night. Wish I had no legs. The mother visits her son, smiles at him through the bars. She's never looked at more. Beats girl enters America, all dressed in crimson.
Okay, Brian Hartline, Dolphins. DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans. Reggie Bush for the Lions. Also for the Lions, another Reggie Bush, but this is the X Factor. And Odell Beckham for the Giants.
The city worships flesh.
Okay, Ryan Matthews for the Chargers. Percy Harvin, Seahawks. Darrelle Revis for the Patriots. Base Refractor for the Browns. Connor Shaw. Eric Ebron for the Lions. Cecil Shorts, Jaguars. Andre Johnson for the Texans. Von Miller for the Broncos. For the Buccaneers, die cut, finest atomic rookies, Mike Evans. And then Connor Shaw base card. Also, just like the other one for the Browns. Sean Lee for the Cowboys. Alshon Jeffries for the Bears. Terrell Suggs for the Ravens. Greg Robinson for the Rams. And then Jeremy Hill for the Bengals. Okay, Roddy White for the Falcons. Victor Cruz for the Giants. Okay. Another Fantasy's finest, Drew Brees for the Saints. Johnny Manziel, rookie for the Browns. And then Austin Jenkins for the Buccaneers. Okay, another auto relic in this one, guys. Okay, Cordero Patterson for the Vikings. Le'Veon Bell for the Steelers. Base Refractor, Cam Newton for the Panthers. Javon Clowney for the Texans. Okay, and then for the Buccaneers, Charles Sims, and that's a 2-color patch. Buccaneers are starting to come up. Oops. There's that one. Oops. And then that one. Still trying to get used to where the camera's at.
Ever seen the Lord smile? all the care for the world.
2 boxes left after this one, guys.
Why do we still carry a device of torture?
Richard Sherman, Seahawks. Vincent Jackson, Buccaneers. Pierre Garcon for the Redskins. X-Fractor for the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams. Jake Matthews for the Falcons. Arian Foster for the Texans. Geno Smith for the Jets. Keenan Allen for the Chargers. Base Refractor for the Ravens. Joe Flacco. Kelvin Benjamin for the Panthers. Earl Thomas, Seahawks. Mike Glennon, Buccaneers. Ace Sanders, Jaguars. Die cut. Finest Atomic Rookie. Jimmy Garoppolo for the Patriots. And Aaron Murray for the Chiefs. Robert Mathis for the Colts. Julius Thomas for the Broncos. We got our second quarterback cuts. Remember what I said last time? I only got one in the case last time. This one is Taj Boyd for the Jets. Okay. Base Refractor for the Lions. Kong Su. And then Jared Abbrederis for the Green Bay Packers. Hey, Spurs fanatic. It takes a little bit to process, but the actual break will be posted tonight, and I'm going to have to, once I finish this up, I'm going to have to go get my son from his job, but I will be posting a recap, which will match everything up, just the condensed version, for all the hits. And it might be like last week when I had 2 actual recaps, one that had all the refractors, and the other one that had all the autos and the other inserts. And then if there is a random, the random will be done tonight and recorded tonight. So but tomorrow I will send out the link to any video that's posted that pertains to this break. And I'm sorry I got a monotonous voice. Hopefully the cards will wake some people up. Tony Romo for the Cowboys. Ray Rice for the Ravens. Jay Cutler for the Bears. For the Dolphins. Fantasy's Finest, Brian Hartline. And then Phil Richardson for the Seahawks. Jordy Nelson for the Packers. It's a pretty good box, guys. This is our second serial numbered out of 25. Paul Saw Refractor. Odell Beckham for the Giants. I don't know if you can see that. 3 out of 25, so it's another low number. Allen Robinson for the Jaguars. Devontae Adams for the Packers. And then our next auto relic, Zach Ertz for the Eagles. That's excuses. I work today too. I'm just messing with you. I do know I've got a little bit of a monotonous voice, but I'm hoping I get enough product that'll offset it. That's what I thought. Okay. Reason why I was checking is for the Eagles. There was a duplication, so there's 2 Zach Ertz out of the case so far. So whoever got the Eagles got 1 to keep and 1 to sell or trade. Alex Smith, Chiefs. Pierre Thomas for the Saints. LaShawn McCoy for the Eagles. Our next X-Fractor for the Dolphins. Brian Hartline. And then Blake Bortles for the Jaguars. Okay, box 6, gentlemen. Or excuse me, box 7. I think there was 1 Chiefs hit. I know there was a couple like refractors, but I can't remember. I'll go back. Hey, Spurs fan, I'll go back. I got 2 more boxes left, and I'll go back and do a quick recap with this recording, and then I'll do a summary recap. That it's going to be a separate listing, but yeah, I can't remember if I got any of those or not. I think the Raiders were quiet last time too. Jordan Cameron, Browns. Kiko Alonso for the Bills. Larry Fitzgerald for the Cards. For the Steelers, base refractor, Antonio Brown. Yeah, I think there was. Yeah, I think there might have been 2 of his. And then Anthony Barr for the Vikings. Thanks, Joy. Andy Dalton for the Bengals. DeMarco Murray for the Cowboys. Matthew Stafford for the Lions. Die cut. That's your finest atomic rookie. That's Sammy Watkins for the Bills. Taj Boyd for the Jets. Ryan Tannehill for the Dolphins. Arian Foster for the Texans. Blue refractor. Okay. Now these are not serial number to 99. This is Teddy Bridgewater, number 97 to 99. Trey Mason for the Rams and DeQuezy Denard for the Bengals. Keenan Allen, Chargers. Geno Smith for the Jets. Earl Thomas for the Seahawks. Then our next fantasy finest for the Lions, Reggie Bush. And then Kelvin Benjamin for the Panthers. Okay. Mike Glennon for the Buccaneers. Ace Sanders for the Jaguars. Base refractor for the Eagles. Nick Foles. Aaron Murray for the Chiefs. And then signed rookie relic for the Jaguars, Allen Robinson. And look at that serial number, guys. 1 of 75. Nice. That's the first one on that one. That's nice. Robert Mathis for the Colts. Julius Thomas for the Broncos. Tony Romo for the Cowboys. And then for the Browns, X-Fractor. Got Jordan Cameron. And then Jared Abbrederis for the Packers. Jordy Nelson, Packers. Jay Cutler, Bears. Alex Smith, Chiefs. Rookie Refractor for Jaguars, Blake Bortles. And then Paul Richardson for the Seahawks. Pierre Thomas for the Saints. LaShawn McCoy for the Eagles. Ryan Matthews for the Chargers. Our next die cut, Austin Jenkins for the Buccaneers. And Devontae Adams for the Green Bay Packers. Okay, Percy Harvin, Seahawks. Darrell Revis for the Patriots. Cecil Shorts for the Jaguars. And then Fantasy's Finest, this one's the Refractor, guys. Okay, and that's Greg Olson for the Panthers. And then Allen Robinson for the Jaguars. The last top-loaded card, that was Allen Robinson for the Jaguars. It was a green relic, serial number 1 out of 75, Gilmore. Andre Johnson for the Texans. Von Miller for the Broncos. Another Fantasy Finest, and that's for the Rams, Zach Stacy. Eric Ebron for the Lions and Blake Bortles for the Jaguars. Okay, Sean Lee for the Cowboys. Alshon Jeffrey for the Bears. Base Refractor for the Vikings. Adrian Peterson. Connor Shaw for the Browns. Let's see which way this one goes. Okay, so 2-color rookie auto patch. This is Jordan Matthews for the Eagles. Oh, this one's upside down. Hold on a second. There we go. Terrell Suggs for the Ravens. Roddy White for the Falcons. It's still in it flipped upside down. Cordarrelle for the Patterson for the Vikings. X-Fractor for the Green Bay Packers. Jared Abbrederis. And then Jeremy Hill, base card for the Bengals. Last box, guys. Marshawn Lynch, Seahawks. Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers. Eli Manning for the Giants. Base refractor for the Falcons, Julio Jones. And Carlos Hyde for the 49ers. Tom Brady for the Patriots. Jamal Charles for the Chiefs. Frank Gore for the 49ers. And our next die cut for the rookies, Teddy Bridgewater for the Vikings. And then Brandon Cooks for the Saints. Okay, Jordan Wright for the Titans. Torrey Smith for the Ravens. Our next blue refractor, okay, number 60 out of 99, Pierre Thomas for the Saints. Excuse me, is that 60 or 69? I'm sorry, 60 out of 99. Sammy Watkins for the Bills and Derek Carr for the Raiders. Brandon Marshall for the Bears. Wes Welker for the Broncos. Our next fantasy finest, Green Bay Packers. That's Jordy Nelson. Troy Nicholas for the Cardinals and Jimmy Garoppolo for the Patriots. Okay. Clay Matthews for the Green Bay Packers. Mike Wallace for the Dolphins. Base refractor for the Rams. And that's Greg Robinson. Michael Sam also for the Rams. And then rookie relic, for the Buccaneers, Mike Evans. We haven't seen a redemption yet, guys. Still wonder if there's one in this case, but then again, I did get the printing plate, so maybe that took the place. For the Jets, Sheldon Richardson. Chargers, Phillip Rivers. Seahawks, Russell Wilson. X-Ractor for the Broncos, Von Miller. And then Aaron Donald for the Steelers. Okay, Brian Hartline for the Dolphins. Reggie Wayne for the Colts. For the Texans, DeAndre Hopkins. Base refractor for the Panthers, Luke Kuechly. Martavis Bryant for the Steelers. Okay, Logan Thomas for the Cardinals. Reggie Bush for the Lions. Jordan Cameron for the Browns. And Kiko Alonso for the Bills. And then a die cut. That's Kadeem Carey for the Bears. Larry Fitzgerald, Cardinals. Andy Dalton for the Bengals. DeMarco Murray for the Cowboys. Charles Sims for the Buccaneers. And Kadeem Carey again for the Bears. Matthew Stafford for the Lions. Arian Foster for the Texans. For the Browns, you got Fantasy's finest, Jordan Cameron. Khalil Mack for the Raiders and Zach Mettenberger for the Titans. Last 2 packs, gentlemen. Ryan Tannehill for the Dolphins. Geno Smith for the Jets. Base refractor for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers. Jarvis Landry for the Dolphins. And then rookie auto relic, Dante Moncrief, and that's for the Colts. Last pack, guys. Keenan Allen for the Chargers. Earl Thomas for the Seahawks. Mike Glennon for the Buccaneers. And our last X-Fractor for the Cowboys, Sean Lee. And then the final card, Odell Beckham for the Giants. Okay. What I'll do tonight, because like I said, I'm going to go get my son. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'll get these refractor sleeves. I'll try to minimize the handling. As you notice, I was sitting there looking at the pack because I try to minimize any fingerprints. Not perfect, but I try to minimize. But here's what I'm going to do now, though, is do a quick recap of the bigger hits. Okay. Okay, for the jumbo relics, Mike Evans for the Buccaneers. For the Eagles, Zach Ertz. And just so you're seeing double, there's the other Zach Ertz. Okay. Charles Sims for the Buccaneers. There you go, Spurs fanatic. Aaron Murray for the Chiefs. For the Bengals, Jeremy Hill. And then the final one for the Jumbo Relic, this is serial number 1 out of 75, and that's Allen Robinson, okay, for the Jaguars. Sharp looking card with the red background. Okay. Okay, single color relic for the Colts, and that's Dante Moncrief. For the Eagles, 2 color, actually, let me see. Yeah, just a 2 color patch. Okay, and that's Jordan Matthews. 2 color patch for the Buccaneers, Charles Sims. 2 color patch for the Saints. Again, you can barely see the white border, and that's Brandon Cooks. For the Rams, solid color, Trey Mason. Another one for the Buccaneers, 2 color patch, Austin Jenkins. Browns, and that's Terrence West. 2 color patch for the Titans, and that's Bishop Sankey. And then the very first one that we pulled was also for the Titans. I actually should have went in that other stack, I'm sorry. That's a 2 color patch, Zach Mettenberger for the Titans, 21 out of 25. And then the 1 of 1. Well, that's a hard glare on that one. 1 of 1, yellow printing plate, Ryan Matthews of the San Diego Chargers. Okay, again, I'll be sending out links. The one tonight should post. I'm going to go through, stop record, and title it and everything. That should be posted within the hour. I just got to make sure of the privacy setting. And then the recap for tomorrow will be primarily the refractors and such. There was no random this time. And I will try to get that out. But I'll be honest with you, I'll be hitting church in the morning. So it'll probably be closer to lunchtime to break that down. All packages will be staged up tomorrow. The teams will be broke down tonight, but the packages will be staged up tomorrow. And then at that point, I'll go ahead and get everything weighed and mailed out by lunchtime on Monday. Other than that, I really do appreciate everybody's help and participation. And especially with the quick payments, because last week I ended up getting 2 duds that didn't pay. And that stung me. I want to be able to be here just as much for you guys as you guys are for me, because it's hand helping hand, so to speak. But again, I appreciate it. Look for my links, especially with as I build my Facebook page, and then hopefully we can go on to bigger and better things. Appreciate it, gentlemen.